I gotta get this done before 9:30, honestly. Hello and welcome back to Dump Slate, a podcast about movies. My name is Felix and I am your host, and this is our season 1 finale. We're going to be breaking the rules today. We're going over 4 minutes and 20 seconds because we've got a lot to cover. I'm going to cover my 2024 Letterboxd stats, rapid fire the 2024 films I watched, but obviously didn't get to cover in this one single season. And then we're going to go over the Oscar nominations and what my thoughts were, even though no one asked for it. And then to round it out, we are going to cover what season 2 of Dump Slate will be covering, which premieres next week. Starting with our 2024 Letterboxd stats, we have 377 total films logged for 709 hours. 30 plus of those were in theaters. My most watched director goes to Joel Cohen, and then in second place, Quentin Tarantino. My most watched actor was Seth Rogen, which is great for the program. My top theme comes in at twisted, dark, psychological thriller. Don't Know Who Hurt Me. My most watched film was There Will Be Blood at 4 times. And then, now time to rapid fire the 2024 films that I saw but didn't get to cover. Starting with number 3, you can see my new change up behind me, actually. Emma Stone is not there anymore. We have my top 4 from 2024. And the only one I didn't get to cover was Wild Robot. Really fun film. It's nice to see an animation in my top 4. It was really good. I don't remember the last time. Ratatouille obviously is good. I don't know when the last time a really great animation came out, and this is one of those. Moving on to Dune Part 2. Sandworms, that's really all I have to say. It was so fun to see. Moving on, Blink Twice. Honestly, got too much hate. Zoe Kravitz, she really crushed it. This is a good, entertaining film. It's nothing like out of the park cinematography-wise, but just the story and cast was overall really fun. Moving on to Sasquatch Sunset. This is a silent film with Jesse Eisenberg. And I don't know the rest of the cast. I'm off the top of my head, but a really fun watch. They're just making Sasquatch noises the entire time. I got to watch it at a small local theater with some friends, and that was really fun. Alien Romulus. Wasn't expecting much out of this, but when I went to go see it, I was entertained from the beginning to the end. I love Kaylee Spaney. From what she did in Priscilla last year to another 2024 film in Civil War this year. I just really enjoyed it. Love Alex Garland. I think that was his last directed film, which I'm sad to see. Furiosa. Honestly, I feel like it also one of those films that got a little too overhated. I saw it in IMAX at the Chinese theater, which obviously makes for a better experience. But after watching it a second time at home, I still thought it was just as entertaining. And I love it just as much as Fury Road. Drive Away Dolls, Margaret Qualley. She did 3 films this year between The Substance, Kinds of Kindness, and then Drive Away Dolls, which obviously got overlooked because of the other films. And she crushed this one too. It's just like 3 completely different characters that she had to play. Hilarious. I love all Coen films. This one especially is a big stoner film. So really, really fun. We had Rumors. I gave this a half star. This is the one with Cate Blanchett where she's at the G7 conference or summit with all the other countries, and some shit goes down in the woods. And I really don't have too much to say about it. It's one of those films where it's either like half a star or 5 stars for people. There's great satirical comments throughout the entire, I didn't even get to catch all of them, essentially. So after a second watch, maybe this will go up. Ricky Stenicki, a great comedy that John Cena, Andrew Santino, it was just so fun the entire time to watch. Love Lies Bleeding, Kristen Stewart was in this, really awesome. Great cinematography. The storyline just fizzled out a little for me at the end, but still worth a watch. Definitely should be watched. Fly Me to the Moon with Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum. This was one I didn't expect to like. My friends invited me to go watch this with them, and I had no plans to watch it this year, but I was actually entertained the entire time. Worth that. My Old Ass with Aubrey Plaza and Maisie Stella. This was an awesome film. It's one of just a great hour 45-minute film, feel good film, what's it called? Growing up film. And it's a fantastic feature debut from Maisie. She had so much fun on screen, and I'm really looking forward to what she puts out next. Good one. This is kind of an artistic think piece, in my opinion. It's about this girl who goes camping with her father and his lifelong friend. Just a weird film, a weird ending, but it makes you think, and I thought it was just at least catching the whole time. Young Woman and the Sea. This is Daisy Ridley, who was from episode 1, where Sometimes I Think About Dying. She's great. This is an awesome biopic. It's out on Disney. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I saw it randomly and clicked on it, and I didn't turn it off. Smile 2. Honestly, this is going to be one of those franchises that is like Saw and just goes on forever. And it's not bad. You know, this was a decent sequel. I feel like the first one was way more scary and had such different jump scares than any other film I had. So I don't know if that's the reason why this one wasn't as scary, you know, because of that. But either way, still good watch. Trap by M. Night Shyamalan. This was better than other people think, in my opinion. Everyone hated on this. They called it like a Dexter at a concert. But it was fun. You know, I'm just also an M. Night Shyamalan fan in general. There was also Watchers this year, which is by his daughter, her directorial debut with Dakota Fanning. That was okay. You know, I didn't hate it, what the fuck? Didn't hate it, didn't love it. And then, yeah, Y2K. Honestly, it's just a nice, shitty teen flick by Kyle Mooney. I was really excited to watch this by him. You know, it's nothing life-changing, but you get to laugh out of it, I guess. Jury number 2. I don't know what the fuck Toni Collette was doing in this one, but a better movie than I expected. You know, courtroom films are really hard to keep the pace and attention for the audience, and this one was not like that. I feel like I was in it throughout, to be honest. And then, yeah, you know, I want to talk about Better Man. You know, I didn't get to see this in 2024. I just watched it in theaters, like, I believe a week and a half ago. And it's probably the best musical I've seen in a long time. Probably since La La Land, in my opinion. You know, and it's sad to really see people hate on it because the main character is a CGI monkey to represent Robbie Williams, which he saw himself as underdeveloped growing up and becoming a star so young. And it has probably one of the best scenes in 2024 with the rock DJ sequence. And then the movie is just so much better than what it got. I think it made $1 million in the box office, and it's just a complete flop. And, you know, I didn't know who Robbie Williams was. I'm sure a lot of people were asking that. But it's still worth a watch. I think people should just go in with an open mind because it was better than Wicked, probably better than The Complete Unknown, which I haven't seen yet. Either way, definitely one of my favorite films of 2024 in general. Now, moving on to the Oscar nominations. We're going to start, just rip the Band-Aid off, no particular order, starting with sound. I'm a little upset Substance didn't get nominated for this. I don't know why 3 of the nominations are actually musicals. I don't know what musicals do to make sound so good other than the music part. Anyway, you know, The Substance just had so many sick uses of sound in focus shots and then just, you know, trying to make visceral reactions from the audience. So I think the use of sound was just really unique and fun there. So I didn't like that. One of the biggest snubs that, you know, I've definitely heard about is Challengers not getting any nubs. But, I mean, to not see them nominated on score is just insane. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I mean, just listen to this. Like, how's that not get nominated? I mean, it's one of the coolest things. And in the theater, you feel like you're in a club. I mentioned it in my episode. Anyway, moving on to set design. In the moment, I was actually annoyed Substance didn't get nominated on this, but after seeing the list again, the scale of all of those films, it's very deserving. I haven't seen Conclave yet with Ralph Fiennes. It's on my list. It just wasn't a priority watch for me. But after he got nominated for Best Actor, and then it's getting a lot of nominations in general, I'm really excited to watch. But even in the previews, you could see the scale of this film. It just looked impressive. Then moving on to film editing, you know, again, I don't know why Wicked got it. You know, Brutalist got nominated, who just admitted to using AI in the editing process, which we'll also talk about later. That should be an automatic no nomination for me. So, I don't know. Moving on to cinematography, I thought Substance got snubbed on this, you know, and then just Emilia Perez. Let's just get that and rip that Band-Aid off. Listen, I loved the film. I enjoyed it. I think I rated it 4 stars or whatever. It was a great musical, you know. I don't get the 13 nominations in general. I don't see it, honestly, winning any of those nominations, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe Zoe Saldana as Best Supporting Actress. But yeah, definitely a snub on the Substance side. I haven't seen Maria, which was also on my list with Angelina Jolie. And yeah, moving on. This is probably one of my most anticipated this is probably one of my most anticipated categories of the Oscars, and this is going to be writing for original screenplay. Obviously, I'm very happy to see Coralie get nominated here. She really is getting what she deserved and just making the big nominations. You know, she only got 5, or I'm sorry, the movie only got 5. And the screenplay itself is one of the best aspects of it, in my opinion. The story, you know, it's 140 pages, she mentions. I think only 50 plus of those are actual dialogue. So it just really showcases how she can just use character-driven actions to drive this film versus the spoken word. And the way she does that is just incredible. Another nomination that is just as deserving, Sean Baker with Anora. You know, the writing here in general, the story itself is amazing and unique and creative. And then you have like these intimate one-on-one deep conversations between Annie and Ivan and Annie and Igor, and then this controlled hectic chaos throughout the film. So great overall thing there. I'm really excited for Sean Baker as well. And then last but not least, someone else I wouldn't mind seeing take this home is Jesse Eisenberg in A Real Pain. You know, I watched this just the other day, so it's super fresh in my mind, but it was so good. Very moving, you know, kind of relatable to the extent of just having empathy for the characters and the journey that they're going through in the film. Just a category I'm overall very much excited about. Moving on to the big 6. Let's just get these out of the way in terms of actor in a supporting role. I haven't seen, the only 2 performances I've actually seen in this category is Yura Borisov in Anora, which I mentioned during my episode. He's just essential for the film and rounding out the entire ending of it. And then you have Kieran Culkin. Again, I just talked about this. He does an amazing job playing this internally hurting person with narcissistic tendencies, along with emotional swings, and just very honest and blunt with people. And they love that in the film, but honestly, when you're watching it on screen, you just want to strangle him. And then Best Actor. I haven't seen any of these films. They just weren't priority watches for me. You know, I feel like it was definitely the year of the female protagonist. But in general, just seeing Adrian Brody at the top of the list is kind of disheartening. As I mentioned, they used AI in the editing process, and this involves, you know, this involves his accent, and that's just should be an automatic no nomination either. You know, great performance, but you can't do that in my opinion. Haven't seen Timmy's movie. I'm actually really excited to see Sing Sing. That's probably my most anticipated watch of this list. I do love Ralph Fiennes, so I'll watch that. And then I heard Sebastian Stan did a great job in The Apprentice. Again, just not a priority watch for me. Moving on to actress in a supporting role. Ariana Grande actually did a good job in Wicked. You know, I really actually enjoyed her character. I haven't seen the play at all, but I'm sure this is exactly how the character would be. And then you have Zoe Saldana, as I mentioned, in Amelia Perez, which I also think Selena Gomez was deserving of this. She did great. But yeah, and then, you know, one of my favorite categories again of the year is going to be actress in the leading role. It as I mentioned, it was the year of the female protagonist. Cynthia Erivo in Wicked, she was amazing. Carla Sofia Gasson, the first trans to be nominated for an actress in a leading role, which is amazing and so deserving. Mikey Madison in Anora, I mean, she just transformed in that film into Annie, and then you see her in these interviews, and you saw her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it's unrecognizable. So she did a phenomenal job. Fernanda Torres and I'm Still Here. This is the only film. The only film I haven't seen in this category. And she did just win the Golden Globe for drama. And yeah, I really want to watch that one and see how she does in it. And then Demi Moore in The Substance, who just won the Golden Globe for Best Musical Comedy. So it really is a fight. You know, I'm excited to show up. I would love Demi to take it. I would love Mikey to take it. Everyone is deserving in this category. And then moving on to directing. You know, Sean Baker and Coralie Farge is honestly the only thing I care about in this category. We don't even need to talk about it. It's just such a win to see these cool films and these people in film that have unique come-ups. You know, Sean Baker starting on filming just an iPhone, you know, and then moving into the Florida Project, you know, a great one. He had Red Rocket, and then now this, to just the trajectory he's had and in creativity he's had throughout his career. He really deserves this. Again, Coralie Farge, only her second feature film after Revenge, and just to get this in a horror film, to get this type of like notoriety in a horror film is hard in general, hard enough. So just amazing for her, amazing for the film in general. And then Best Picture, again, 2 of my favorite films, Anora and The Substance, both nominated. I'm really excited to see Nickel Boy, as that has been on my list. You know, Dune Part 2 was good. You know, I think Lord of the Rings is the only is the last time a sequel won for Best Picture. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the Oscars. You know, tried to make it short and sweet as possible, give my thoughts. But now I'm excited to talk about more important things, which is season 2 of Dumb Slate. We are going to be doing Vegas. You know, I moved here 4 years ago, really excited to showcase this city in film. And it's nice to actually just get to do other years. You know, I've been stuck in 2024 for this season. I'm sure y'all are sick of it. I'm really excited to kind of, you know, go anywhere from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. I picked out 10 films already. I've watched most of them. 5 of them I hadn't watched, before I picked them, because I wanted something new. I wanted to review something I haven't seen before and just get, you know, find a new film and showcase this city in a different way. Because it's nice to see how Vegas changes throughout films, because the strip is always changing and properties are always changing. And then there's some films where you obviously can tell it wasn't shot in Vegas at all, except for the actual Vegas scenes that they have to shoot there. So yeah, really fun season ahead. I'm excited to go over it. But yeah, that's gonna be it. That premieres next Monday, and cut. Okay, that was it. We are good. That was it. Sorry. It's like my phone